Hey everyone, it's Erin with Hail Varsity. I'm joined by Greg, also of Hail Varsity, and we are in Memorial Stadium getting ready for another home matchup, Nebraska versus Buffalo, Saturday, 2:30 p.m. kickoff. We just heard from Coach Scott Frost, and it's going to be a hot day on Saturday. In fact, right before we started recording, I said to Greg, we're going to recap Coach Frost, and your biggest takeaway from what he just said, he spoke for about 4 minutes, was the heat.
Yeah, I thought that Scott Frost saying that the team will alter warm-ups a little bit so that the guys don't tire out too early was interesting, just because we don't hear that happening very often. Scott Frost also made sure to say for you guys out there coming to the game to make sure you hydrate as well and everybody stays safe on and off the field. But I do think monitoring the heat, because I think it's supposed to be mid-90s during the game, will be it'll be a little warm.
In fact, if you're looking for updated weather information, if you are just curious at home how it will affect the team, or you're actually going to be at Memorial Stadium, Hail Varsity has you covered. Head to hailvarsity.com. Rusty Dawkins of Husker Weather has the latest. Not only do we have a post right now at Hail Varsity giving you what to expect from game day, but we also have a video that will be posted on Friday that gives a more detailed rundown. So just if you haven't subscribed to this YouTube channel, you need to, because we got you covered on everything. Now, why that matters, because he didn't say if heat had any factor against Illinois, but that matchup, it was very warm. So if you are not aware, let's talk about this really quick. If the temperature is about 95 degrees at kickoff, which would be one of the hottest kickoffs in Nebraska history, for the record, what ends up happening is what is on the field is nearly 15 to 20 degrees hotter than that. AstroTurf, or whatever it is, those pellets, whatever it's called now, it gets very warm. So at Illinois, for instance, they had a thermometer on the field so that they could be aware of what was going on, and it was about 108, 109 at the beginning of warm-up. So that was earlier in the day too. It hadn't gotten hotter yet. So they're definitely taking care of themselves. If you're a fan that's going to be here, hydrate, be mindful of your just environment, because that's going to be warm.
Yes, water. Water is your friend.
Gatorade. Brandy, Powerade, whatever's in the stadium.
Whichever one. Your favorite sports drink.
Your favorite sports drink.
Insert your favorite sports drink here.
Well, outside of that, he gave a couple of quick updates on things, but one that we did not is injuries. Oliver Martin, Travis Vokalek, Casey Rogers. We've heard multiple times over this week, but Martin and Vokalek most recently today, they're close, but that doesn't give me a ton of confidence that they're going to be available.
Day by day, they're getting better, was I think the exact quote. And so we'll see. We'll just kind of see what happens there.
I'd be surprised if you see them on Saturday against Buffalo, is kind of how that remark read to me.
Yes, me too. But he didn't want to, obviously come right out and say for Buffalo's game planning purposes.
Now, if you're Buffalo and Travis Vokalek comes running out of the tunnel like nothing's, surprise.
Yeah,
you never know, I guess.
Yeah. Maybe the surprise will be good for Nebraska's side.
Now, Buffalo is a good team. They have just one game so far this season. Obviously, it's hard to kind of remember that the reason Nebraska has that extra game is because of week 0.
Yeah,
it's not
that
first week was week 1. But because of that, Nebraska has one game of film to go off of. That was against Wagner. Buffalo did what it needed to do against Wagner, just like Nebraska did what it needed to do against Fordham. So they're coming into this matchup, in a pretty good place. Buffalo looked good against Wagner. The run game looked good, especially the running backs are an area to keep an eye on. Frost mentioned that their defense is tackling hard. They're they're moving fast. Now, I think if you're Nebraska against Buffalo, this is for you, run the ball person. I think you really need to focus on running the ball at Buffalo, because that is an area where you can tire them down over the game.
Yeah.
He didn't talk about that. That's just my 2 cents.
Yeah, and on the flip side of that, I also think a huge key for Nebraska is going to be just stopping the run. You started off talking about Buffalo's run game, and that's kind of their identity. They love to run inside, outside zone. They run a lot of counters from watching that first game against Fordham. But the strength of Nebraska's defense, at least thus far, has really been that rush defense, right? And it was, for the most part, last year, too. So if Nebraska's hanging their hats on that, and they can continue to do that, that should put Nebraska in pretty good shape this weekend.
Absolutely. So, it's gonna be a battle of. I feel like there's a good chance that this is gonna become a slugfest, and it's gonna be a battle of stopping the run and getting the run game going. I mean, as much as you probably want to see more from Chancellor Brewington and everybody else, which is great, if you're not seeing Stepp and Morrison and Yant and Gabe Irvin Jr., if you're not seeing them, that's not a good sign.
Yeah, this is really just kind of the appetizer for Big Ten play, is what I kind of
run
feel
the ball.
Like this is. Yeah.
Stop the run.
That's right.
Well, Greg, we have plenty of work to do before we get to Saturday game day, and there wasn't, like I said, a ton to report on today just because Scott, he ran through those updates pretty quickly.
It was breezy.
It was breezy, just like the stadium is today. Just an easy, breezy day. But we will have plenty more to come at hailvarsity.com. Like I said, you can get weather updates, but you can also get more from practice, whether it's the practice reports or deeper dives. In fact, come back on Friday. Steve, our new football beat reporter, he actually has a deeper dive on Buffalo to come, looking at what they did against Wagner and providing some context as far as what that means for Nebraska and what Nebraska is going to need to do to hold up against Buffalo and to hopefully win that game. So lots to come at hailvarsity.com. Go and subscribe to Hail Varsity, subscribe to this YouTube channel, leave comments. We always appreciate you. Greg, any final thoughts?
Stay hydrated.
Stay hydrated with your favorite sports drink. Talk to you later.